So reservoir operation, what we call it is a reservoir operation. So what is reservoir operation? So reservoir should be operated to meet a demand pattern of multiple objectives and requirements. As you know that reservoir may be single purpose reservoir or multi-purpose reservoir. And when we talk about the multi-purpose reservoir, it can be for irrigation, power generation, navigation, right, drinking water, industrial water supply, etc. Reservoir operation may be long term or real time. In terms of policy to operate a reservoir at various water level, reservoir level, you can term it as a long term reservoir level. And when you know that there is a huge volume of inflow arriving in a shorter time period into the reservoir, and that time you have to take the decision that how much gate are required to be opened depending upon what is the water storage in the reservoir, that can be said as the real time operation of the reservoir. Whenever for operation of reservoir may be either short term or long term depending upon the considered time period. That what I explain you, that what is the meaning of short term reservoir operation and what is the meaning of long term reservoir operation. Reservoir operation involves continuous decision making and is based on the specified operating policy and optimum rules. Reservoirs cannot be operated randomly. The purpose of the reservoir is either irrigation or power generation or drinking water supply or industrial water supply. And each season there is a fixed demand for irrigation, for water power, hydropower, for drinking water. These all demands are fixed, and therefore you required to develop operating policy and rules such that one can get maximum benefit out of the storage into the reservoir. As you know, the reservoir storages or reservoir level every year that will be changing depending upon the precipitation of that particular year in the river basin, the inflow in the river basin during various years of study, that will be varied, that will be different. So reservoir involves continuous decision making and is based on the specified operating policy and optimum rules. Reservoir operation employs release decisions, satisfying the demands and other legal constraints, fulfilling all multiple objectives. Here it is written as legal constraints. So there is a legal constraint that the downstream of the reservoir minimum environmental flow is required to be maintained. Hence, apart from releasing the water for hydropower generation or for irrigation, there may be certain legal constraint that minimum flow is required into river, this much of flow is required into the river. That also one is required to be taken care while operating the reservoir. Uncertainties and inaccuracies are involved in the reservoir operation. This happens because of seasonal variables and operational objectives. So lot of uncertainties and accuracies are involved in the reservoir operation. Why? As I said that in one particular year also, if I talk about India, we have fixed 4 months season of rainfall, most of the part of the country except that of the southern part, and where during these 4 months the reservoir receives maximum inflow or the reservoirs get full, and for rest of the 8 months this storage water is utilized for the purpose for which the reservoir has been designed. Inflows occurring in the monsoon season, that is June, July, August and September, and play a very important role in impounding the reservoir. Here I am trying to show you the actual reservoir operation for Tapi River Basin, where you can see the Tapi River Basin is divided into 3 parts. One is upper Tapi Basin, this is middle Tapi Basin and lower Tapi Basin. In lower Tapi Basin, we have Ukai Dam, and that Ukai Dam is over here. This is Ukai Dam, because of which the reservoir is formed, and this Ukai Dam is multi-purpose reservoir. Now, what is the significance of reservoir operation? That I am trying to explain you. In the next slide, I have used the flood inflow hydrographs and outflow hydrographs for one of the major flood event in case of Tapi River, and the releases, and during that time the releases from the Ukai reservoir. You can see here the red lines, that is the inflow hydrograph. This happened between 5th August 2006 to 15th August 2006, and you will see that during the 50 and that is between 0 to 50 hours, and if I am not forgetting, if I talk about the 24 hours to 50 hours, you can see the reservoir inflow was in terms of 35,000 cumax into the reservoir, right? And that time, if you will see the dam level, reservoir level, so this blue line, that is the reservoir level, and 105.5 is almost the reservoir full level. FRL 105.5 is almost the reservoir full level. So you can see that when the heavy inflow started in the reservoir, that is from 24 hours to that of the 50 hours, as you can see, it is in terms of 35,000 cumax meter cube per second. The reservoir water level was almost full. You just see that it has turned to 105 within that period, 105, and it is not possible to store because it is the full reservoir level. So when the reservoir reaches its full reservoir level, compulsorily the water is required to be released out. And when we are talking of releasing from the water, as I have shown in that video, that was 1.75 lakh cusec, not cumac. So the release is also started at the same time as the outflow hydrograph. And you can see that around 25,000 meter cube per second of water has been released from the Ukai Dam during 5th August, that is 6th August, 7th August and 8th August. That was the 3 days. That is 6, 7 and 8 August 2006. Almost two-thirds of the city was underwater. It was flooded. Two-thirds of the city was flooded. Why? Because as you can see that the reservoir level is 105.5, the inflow is 35,000 cumac. There is no space of water to be stored into the reservoir, and therefore compulsory they have to release the water. The carrying capacity of the water, because when they release the water from spillway section, where the water will go, it will go into the downstream direction. And when it will flow into the river carrying capacity is hardly 3 lakh cusec, while the releases were around 6 lakhs to 9 lakh cusecs. 6 lakhs to 9 lakh cusecs. So what will happen if 3 lakh cusec water is released? That is the carrying capacity of the water river, and in that, if you are releasing around 6 to 9 lakh cusec of water in the same river, what will happen? There will be spillage of water over the banks. That is called flooding. And what has happened in 2006? You can see here, these are the actual photograph of 2006 flood, wherein you can see the depth of water almost up to ground floor in this particular area. This is another one. This is a BAPS temple, which is on the bank of the river, and you can see that almost the ground floor is underwater. And if you can see the gate, right, what was the water level depth? And this entire is river. The nearby is this the river, and the river water has spread over the entire adjoining area of BAPS. This is another picture of water which is flooded in the city of Surat, when nearly 6 lakh to 9 lakh cusec of water has been released from Ukai reservoir because of high inflows. That has resulted into the flooding of downstream area, and Surat is on the downstream side of this Ukai Dam, resulted into 1.5 storied depth of water in Arajan area of city of Surat. So what is the significance of reservoir operation? To explain you that, I have shown you inflow hydrograph, outflow hydrograph, and when you are releasing water from the reservoir, which is more than that of the carrying capacity of the water, what will happen? It will flood the downstream areas. There is another example, Periyar River Basin in floods 2018. This is a Periyar Basin in which, due to heavy rainfall in 2018, August 2018, the entire basin, this is in the Kerala, the entire basin got flooded. And what is the reason? You can see here, these are the dams, number of dams in the Periyar River basins. I'm talking about the Idukki Dam. What happened in 2018 against in case of Idukki Dam, because of extremely heavy rainfall into the Periyar River basin? You will see here there is two hydrographs. Black one is measured inflow, while that red one is measured outflow. Okay, in this case the discharge is only 2663 meter cube per second. This Periyar River is comparatively smaller than that of the Tapi River. In Tapi River the discharge was around 35,000 meter cube per second. That was the inflow, and at the same time they have released nearly 20,000 meter cube per second outflow. In this case the inflow was 2763, while the outflow was 1860 meter cube per second, which is much higher than that of the carrying capacity of the Periyar River. And therefore the entire Periyar River basin flooded during August 2018. So this picture shows that the comparison of major discharge, that is the red dots, they are the major discharge, actual flood event, that is the black line you can see in this hydrograph. This is a black line, that is for the actual flood event. And what are the storages at 75% reservoir storage dependable level, 50% dependable level, and 25% reservoir dependable level? What will be the storages in the reservoir? That has been shown blue, green, and this color line, 25%. Three lines are shown. So you can see that the actual storage or actual inflow into the reservoir was much higher than that of 75% reservoir storage dependable level. It is much higher than that, right? And there is a dotted line here, it is shown, and where it is written bankful discharge. Bankful discharge means what? The river can carry up to 4,000 meter cube per second discharge only. If you are releasing water more than that of the 4,000 meter cube per second, bankful discharge is 4,000. So discharge more than that of the bankful discharge, what will happen? It will result into the flooding of adjoining area. And you can see that the bankful capacity is around 4,100 meter cube per second, approximately I am talking, while the releases from the dam or the major discharge at Nilaswaram's location was 10,000 meter cube per second. So this gives you idea that what is the bankful discharge of the river and how much water that has flown from this specific section, and if it 10,000 meter cube per second, what would have been happened to this river basin, right? This Periyar River basin. This was almost all the part of this that Nilaswaram, what I have shown you, that is at location number 2. Here they have measured the discharge, which is the almost the discharge of the entire basin, which has been measured over here, and it has come out to be 10,000 meter cube per second, right? So under such conditions, what happens? That the basin get completely flooded. Basin get completely flooded. So this explains you the significance of operation of reservoir. And for the reservoir operation, two-step policy is made to optimize the release. In number 1, in first policy, the use of fuzzy logic has been employed to generate the total release which includes hydropower, irrigation, and other releases. In second step, the total release is optimally distributed or subdivided to various releases such as hydropower, irrigation, evaporation losses, etc., depending upon demands or past release pattern. Here I am talking about Ukai reservoir operation release policy using fuzzy logic. In this particular session, I'm going to discuss about optimum reservoir operation policy using fuzzy logic. And this has been divided into two steps. This is the first step and this is the second step. So two-step methodology of reservoir operation. In step one, policy and methodology used for fuzzy logic based reservoir operation model to obtain total release. And how to find out this total releases. The total release is obtained or incurred using the fuzzy logic based model for reservoir operation. You know the mass balance equation, and the mass balance equation is given by ST plus 1 is equal to ST plus IT minus RT, where ST plus 1, that is reservoir storage at next time period T plus 1. ST, reservoir storage at some time period T, means T plus 1. T plus 1 is what? You want to know so this again I am repeating ST plus 1, that is you wanted to know storage in the reservoir today morning. Then you need to have storage in the reservoir yesterday morning. During yesterday, what was the inflow into the reservoir and what was releases from the reservoir? That will give me the reservoir storage of T plus 1 time period. Using this mass balance equation and policy of distributing the releases, total expected releases from first model into multiple objective requirements. What are your multiple objective requirements? So multiple releases are irrigation. There are two banks, Ukai Lab Bank Main Canal, ULBMC, hydropower requirements, release through radial gates in flood or high inflow situation, and evaporation losses. These are the multiple objectives were considered to find it out the optimal releases from the reservoir. So that gives the mass balance equation ST plus 1 is equal to ST plus IT minus releases for irrigation, releases for hydropower generation, releases for that hydropower generation, then releases for losses, evaporation losses, and releases through gate. Releases through gate, right? So ST plus 1 is ST plus IT minus RT. What is RT? RT is sum of all the releases into the reservoir. IT is sum of, RT is sum of all the releases. These are all the releases from the dam that has been modeled over here as a total releases, right? And that is also mentioned over here. RT is equal to IRR, RHP, yeah, that is evaporation losses, and RK. This is an additional term. Actually, this RHP is already given. Okay. So this way, the mass balance equation is used to find it out the storage at any time T plus 1 into the reservoir using the storage in the beginning, inflows during the time period, and the releases from the reservoir during the time period. Okay. So logic based reservoir operation model. Fuzzy logic based reservoir operation intends the use of fuzzy rules and decisions along with utilization of knowledge and database. How the fuzzy logic based reservoir operation model can be built. So, use of fuzzy logic rules and decisions along with utilization of knowledge and database. Fuzzy rule based model is developed for the operation of multi-purpose reservoir. The model give the total release as an output of fuzzy model, and this total release is distributed in multiple releases as per past records or demands for irrigation, hydropowers, etc. The model operates on fuzzy, that is if-then rules. The fuzzy rules form a relationship between inputs and outputs to optimal and more satisfied decision results, which leads to optimal and more satisfied decision results. For more accuracy and intention of reducing the uncertainties, the full year time period is divided into 36 periods and 3 seasons. The entire 1 year have how many days? It have 365 days, and these 365 days were divided into the was video visible? Hello, I saw just now the message. Video is not visible. Was it visible or not?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Hello. Visible. You have seen the video, no? Okay, fine. So for fuzzy logic based operation, what I was asking was explaining was the entire period is divided into 36 intervals. That means we have used the 10 daily data, that is called as a 10 daily data. So in this session, the reservoir operation which I am discussing is based on 10 daily data analysis. Can participant tell me what are the other possible analysis? In this session, when I am explaining reservoir operation using fuzzy logic, I have divided the entire 360 days into 36 periods. That is 10 daily data I have used. I wanted to know what are the different time scales used for modeling. Please type in chat. I'll wait for 1 minute. What are the different time scales used for the purpose of modeling? As I said that I have used 10 daily data. So what are the other possible time scale of data that can be used for the purpose of modeling? Yes, anyone? Type in chat. If you are not able to reply unmuting yourself, you can type it in chat. What are the other data? Hello? Anyone? Mistry, Patel, Mohit. Nobody knows that what type of data we use. Okay, the data can be daily data, that can be monthly data, then can be seasonal data and annual data, right? So these data can be used. Hourly data, good, someone was wrote hourly data. So hourly data that can be used for the purpose of modeling. Okay, so in this analysis we have used 10 daily data for the purpose of analysis. I hope my slides are visible. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 10 daily data for the more accuracy and intention of reducing the uncertainties, the full year time period is divided into 36 periods and 3 seasons. 3 seasons, as I said, in India, we receive most of the rainfall during 4 months, and that we termed as a monsoon, and the 4 months before monsoon we call it as a pre-monsoon, and 4 months after the monsoon season that we termed it as a post-monsoon. The following steps involved in modeling reservoir operation using fuzzy logic are: number one, fuzzification of inputs; number two, fuzzy rule formation, that is if then; and number three, that is whatever results you have derived from the model you have to defuzzify. These are the three basic steps involved in modeling the reservoir operation. One is fuzzification of inputs, second fuzzy rule in formulation, and third defuzzification of fuzzified output. Three seasons, as I said, pre-monsoon, post-monsoons, and monsoon. Considering the 10 daily data into total 36 periods that has been used for the purpose of analysis. As in case of CWC India, the water year starts from 1st June. Therefore, the first 10 daily period is represented from 1st June to 10th June. 1st June to 10th June. The second period is from 11th to 20th, and third is from 21 to 30. So that way, the total data is divided into 3 time intervals. So categorization of period as per months on 10 daily basis, that is shown over here. Period range 1 to 10, period number 1, period range 1 to 10, then 1 to 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 12, again 1 to 10 October 13 14 to 24, and 25 to 36. So this particular table shows also in this table monsoon season, post-monsoon season, and pre-monsoon season months are also considered. That is June to September, monsoon season; October to January, post-monsoon season; and February to May, pre-monsoon season. So each year we have 36 periods. And the reservoir storage corresponding to rule level. The rule, what is rule level? The rule level is the level which has been decided by authority. In case of Ukai Dam, the state government who has decided the water level storage at particular period of time, like 1st July, the minimum rule level in feet is 331 feet and minimum rule level is 97.8408, while the storage is 3825.41 million cubic meter. This is storage in million cubic meter. As you know that in July or June, the reservoir water level may be at the minimum level, and as monsoon progresses, the water may be stored into the reservoir, and the maximum water storage level possible in the Ukai Dam is 105.156 meter. That is the rule level. Up to this, they can fill the water, right? If the water is filled beyond this level, then it is to be released on the downstream side. One cannot fill the dam in the month of July itself to 105.156 meter. Why? Can anybody reply? One cannot fill. Suppose there is a good rainfall in the month of July, and let us fill the dam up to 105.156 meter in the month of July itself. Is it possible? I say no, it is not possible. Can anybody tell me why we cannot fill the dam up to its full level? That was in October 105.156. As I said, it is almost the full reservoir level of Ukai. Why we are not able to fill it in the month of July? Unmute yourself and reply. I'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Why we are not filling the dam to its full reservoir capacity in the month of July itself? Can anyone reply? Hello. Why we cannot fill? What is the reason? You can type in chat also, no problem. Yes, this one, I got one reply in the chat. I need few more replies in the chat. Suppose if I fill the dam in the month of July itself, what will happen? After July there is rainfall, then what will happen? What will happen? Why we have to keep the dam up to 91 meter only? Why not in the, why not we make it 105? Yes, it's correct. Patel, Khushbu or Khushi. Other 3 months inflow and rainfall need to be considered. Correct. Then Patel, Mohit or for pre-board purpose. Yeah, that is 105. As I said, it is FRL level. So it takes care of what we can say the pre-board. But here the question is, why not to fill the dam in the first month itself, in the month of July? So I got few correct answer that after July, still there are 3 months. And during this period, there may be rainfall and there may be inflow into the reservoir. And you have to take care of that flow in the subsequent period also. And therefore, we are not filling it to the fullest level in the month of July, but we are gradually filling in July, August, September. In October, we fill it maximum. Why? Because after October, the chances of heavy inflow into the reservoir is minimum again in case of India, as we have the 4 seasons, right? And again, I have to exclude South, because in South, they may receive rainfall during November, December also, right? So majority of the India, 2/3 part of the India, you will find that after the month of October, the inflow in the reservoir be minimum. And therefore, authority try to fill all the dams in India up to its full reservoir level in the month of October, so that they can use this storage water for remaining 12 months of the year, or remaining 8 months, because October it is full. That stored water can be utilized up to the month of July of next year. Now, what are the steps followed in development of fuzzy logic based model for reservoir operations? So you have to decide about input and output. You have to decide about the membership and type of membership function. You have to structure it out if then rules. You have to try to find it out the type of inference mechanism, that is Madnani's maximum minimum method. And finally, whatever output you got, you need to defuzify it, right? It should be in such a way that one can understand it. So that is defuzzification. There are different parameters used in the study. Total number of models. This slide is very, very important. I want all of you to pay attention. Those who wanted to do study using fuzzy logic or otherwise. 4 models, monsoon season fuzzy logic model. So 4 months of monsoon season are considered and a model has been developed. Post monsoon season fuzzy logic model. After the monsoon, 4 months are considered and post monsoon fuzzy logic model has been developed. A pre-monsoon season fuzzy logic model when storage on 1st February is greater than 4,500 MCM. Now, as I said, that every year inflow in the reservoir changes. Every year the inflow in the reservoir is different depending upon the rainfall in the basins. So you may have good year, that is wet year, or you may have a drought year. So when you have a wet year, definitely the reservoir will be at full level. When you have a drought year, the reservoir may have a less storage. And therefore, the pre-monsoon season model has been divided into 2 parts, considering the storage in the month of February, that the first model has been developed using storage into the reservoir more than 4,500 MCM. And when the storage on 1st February is less than 4,500 MCM, the second model, that is pre-monsoon season fuzzy logic model, has been developed. The input variables, 3 input variables. What are the inputs given? Number 1, time period. S, that is reservoir storage, and I, that is inflow. We are giving the time period, this reservoir storage, and inflow into the reservoir. What is the output required? We wanted to operate the reservoir. Hence, we wanted to know if this is the condition, what should be the releases from the dam. And to find it out, that the output variable which we required is releases. Membership functions, there are various membership functions, as those who have already studied the fuzzy logic, triangular membership function, trapezoidal membership function, right, and many other membership functions that can be used for the purpose of modeling. Here T, period numbers 12, as there are 12 10 daily periods in 3 months of each season. T, that is time period, is they have taken 12, as there are 12 10 daily periods in 3 months. In 1 month, how many periods will be there? 10 daily 3, and 4 months, 3 into 4, so that is 12. Okay, as storage is 5 for monsoon seasons model, 4 for post monsoon and pre monsoon season models. Inflow 6 for monsoon season model and 5 for post monsoon and pre monsoon season model. And releases 7 for monsoon, post monsoon and pre monsoon season models. So how many membership functions for each parameter we have considered in this modeling, developing this modeling? For time period 12, for storage is 5, for inflow 6, and for release is 7. 7 membership functions have been considered, right, for each parameter. Total number of rules derived from program in fuzzy logic, that is for monsoon season models, 192 rules have been framed. For post monsoon season model, 149 rules have been framed. And for pre-monsoon season model, 175 rules have been framed. The membership function used, as I said, triangular and trapezoidal membership function are used in developing reservoir operation fuzzy logic based model. While to inference the output of the fuzzy logic model, Mamdani type interface mechanism is used in case of this model. Let us discuss now fuzzy logic based model for monsoon season. So as I said, there are 3 inputs, that is period number, reservoir storage and inflow, and 1 output, that is release. The data used for the monsoon season, that is of 4 months, the data used of 20 years. So the data has been collected from Ukai Reservoir Authority of storages, releases, inflows, etc. for 20 years, and the model has been developed for 20 years data. So the trends observed and occurrence of maximum and minimum values during 20 years for each input and output has been categorized as the maximum and minimum values in the fuzzy logic model. We have 20 years of data. In this 20 years of data, according to our requirement of model, we have find it out minimum value and find it out maximum inflow into the reservoir, and those values, maximum and minimum values, are given as an input to the fuzzy logic model. This is a very important and significant slide. Parameter range used in fuzzy logic modeling for monsoon season. One may ask me, sir, how you have derived this? So as I said, how many years of data has been used? 20 years of daily data has been collected from the authority, and studying that data, the reservoir storage, the maximum value, that is 7,535.95 MCM. Maximum value used in fuzzy logic model for monsoon season with reason. So 8,480 MCM has been used in case of maximum value in case of the fuzzy logic model. What is the reason why, though the storage is 7535, why we have used 8480? The storage corresponding to maximum flood level 106.985 meter or 351 feet. So when you use stage discharge curve, that is water level and storage in the reservoir with the maximum flood level, that is 106.985. This is a maximum flood level, while 105.15 is FRL, full reservoir level. So the storage related to this water level 106.985 meter, that is 8,480, that has been used as maximum value of storage in the reservoir for fuzzy logic model. The minimum value which has been observed from the past is 965.7, and rounding out it 1000 cubic meter being used for that is MCM being used as a minimum storage. And as I said, for fuzzy logic modeling as well as for the reservoir operation, both the experience of a person and intuition of a person, right? Minimum storage decided and considered by knowledge base and intuition. So knowledge base, that is experience of person operating the reservoir, and intuition of a person, that both need to be applied while developing a model, and that has been used, and it has been considered that 1000 may be considered as a minimum. Inflow of 20 years has been studied. The maximum value of inflow occurred is 9,635.75, which has been considered as 9,650 according to maximum value occurred in past records of 20 years. So 9635, so 9650 approximately they occur, and this is 0. That minimum value of inflow is considered as 0. The data has been studied for releases also, and it has been observed in past 20 years 7,650.60 million cubic meter of water has been released. Maximum has been released, and in model 7,660 has been considered. The minimum value of release is 23.28, which is considered as a 24 minimum value based used in fuzzy logic model for monsoon season. Once you have decided the maximum and minimum range of reservoir storage, inflow and releases, now you can go for framing of the rules. So time period, as I said, that during one year, time period used as a first input in fuzzy logic based model, and its detail period number, that is 1 to 10, we said it is a period 1, and 22 to 31 September as a period 12. And the name of membership function used is 1 June 1, 2 June 2. So how many membership functions are there? 12. So how many membership functions are there? 12. 12 for time period. 12 for time period. So I explain you here na this T. So how many membership function are used? 12. For storage, how many are used? 5. For inflow, how many are used? 6. For releases, how many are used? 7. So this is the explanation. What is the meaning of 12 periods? So this entire year has been divided into 10 parts. And period give different August 3. So how many membership functions given for time period in case of fuzzy logic model? That comes out to be 12. Right now, the membership function for reservoir storage, and for reservoir storage, as we have seen that how many membership function we have considered, that we have considered is enough 5. So how these 5 membership functions are considered? Let's see it. So the reservoir storage is classified into very low, low, medium, high, and very high. You know that fuzzy logic, in fuzzy logic, the variables are linguistic. That are not numbers, not numerals, they are linguistic. And based on the nature of fuzzy logic variables, the linguistic variable used for reservoir storage function are very low, low, medium, high, and very high. What is the type of membership function used? Trapezoidal membership function used for reservoir storage. And when we say very low, so you have to give the range, right? So what is the range? The range given is 968, 1500, and 2000 and 2600. This is a trapezoidal membership function. Sorry, this is a trapezoidal and rest is triangular. So in a trapezoidal membership function, if I draw the figure like this is a trapezoidal membership function, and you need to give 4 values. So this value will be 968. This will be intermediate value, that is 1500. This will be again 2600, and then what is that? That is third value is your 968 again. Right? Similarly, for triangular membership function, 3 values are given: 2500, 3500, and 4500. Medium 4400, 5400, 6400. When you are deciding the numeral values of linguistic variable of fuzzy logic, you have to give overlapping periods. And for that purpose, you can see that the range of very low and low function, they are overlapping. Overlapping means what? That in case of fuzzy logic, if I will take this, right, and if I use this as a trapezoidal, then this I will be using triangular, then this I will be using triangular membership function, this I will be using as a triangular membership function. So this particular area is the overlapping area. So in this also you will see here, this is a 2600, this is 2500, this is 4500, this is 4400. So these areas as shown in this particular figure, they are overlapping with each other, right? So that is the what membership function used for reservoir storage. Membership function used for the reservoir storage. So first we have seen the membership function for time period. Then we have seen membership function for reservoir storage. Then releases, inflow. So for inflow also, for first we have taken trapezoidal membership function, that is 0, 0, 200 and 500. And then for rest, very low, low, medium, high, and very high, that we have used triangular functions. And based on from where these values have come and these values have come, these values have come from this table. That's why I table said that this table is very important. What we did? Again, I repeat, 20 years of data we have collected. From these 20 years of the data, we have found out minimum and maximum values. And out of that, we have considered the these values to be given into fuzzy logic model. And for fuzzy logic model, which value we should consider maximum and which should be considered minimum, and how the groups can be formed. So for those purpose, we have used this particular what we can say rule, in which you can see that the maximum value is 8480 for storage, which we have considered here 8480. This is the maximum value for storage. 8480, this we have derived, and that we have considered for storage. And this was 1000. Minimum value is 1000. So in this case, the minimum value we have considered is 968, which is very close to that of the 1000. Right. So between these two values, approximately between 1000 and 8480, we have classified our reservoir storage function into various groups, that is very low, low, medium, high, very high groups, and these values have been decided based on it, that whether it will be considered as a very low storage or very high storage. Okay, then inflow, very low inflow, very low, medium and high. Again, the minimum value was 0, which we have considered in the previous table. This was 0, and the maximum inflow is 9,650. So that 9,650 that we have considered over here. And then depending upon the classes which we have considered and the membership function, various values of inflow have been classified into that specific group. Lastly, the releases. So for releases also, what is the maximum and minimum value we have computed? 24 is the minimum and 7,660 are the maximum values. So the value which is given over here for the first group, where we say that the releases are very low, have 24 million meter cube, while that have very high, that is considered 7,760. Right? In this, when we say the releases we formed 7 groups. What are these groups? Very low, low, medium, high, and very high. So that's why in this table, yes, in this table, the releases group were 7. The inflow group were 6, and time period groups were 12. So this is releases is 7. Why 7? So you can see that has been divided into these 7 groups for releases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So except the first group where we have considered as trapezoidal membership function, while for intermediate groups, that is from 2 to 6, that is triangular membership function, and for 7th group it is trapezoidal membership function has been considered. Right? So now you have framed various groups for your input and output, classifying their numerical values into linguistic values as very low, medium, high, and very high. The next step is framing of if-then rules. This slide specifically shows how to run model in MATLAB. This specific step shows, this slide shows the use of what you can say MATLAB for developing a fuzzy logic model. But after deciding this group, the next step is, we will talk about the software later on. After deciding this, we have to go for the, I'll come back to the software part later on. We have to go for these rules, right? If-then rules. In if-then rules, you can see here, there are 12 period numbers. Where are they? Yes, these are period numbers 1 to 12. Okay. Then second input, storage. That how many groups you have formed? Low, medium, high, very high, and none. Right? And inflow. How many groups you have found? Very low, medium, high, very high, and none. And what releases values you have computed? Very low, medium, high, very high, and none. Now you have to frame the rules. Frame the rules means what? The period is 1, the storage is low, inflow is very low. What will happen? There won't be any release. So that is the first rule. Very low. Right? So here you can see period number is 1, storage is low, inflow is very low, release will be very low. Right? Again, if period number is 1 only, period number is 1, and storage is medium, inflow is low, then releases will also be very low. Then third, if period number is 2, storage is low, inflow is low, and release is also low. Like that, you have to frame all practically possible rules. You have to frame all practically possible rules. Therefore, someone of you that the fuzzy logic rules framed in for this model are very high. That is the reason here, because we have considered the more number of what we can say the groups, membership groups, as well as the data inputs. So for monsoon season, how many rules have been formed? For 12 input data, see this one. Where is that? Yes, same table. 12 input data, this 5 input data, this 6 input data, 7 output data is possible. So if you want to do the combination of these 12 with this 5 and this 6, how many practically possible rules are possible? 192 values, right? For which season? Monsoon season. Maximum. Why? Because there is a possibility of various inflows which have made more number of rules for monsoon season. While for post monsoon and pre monsoon season, it may be less. That is 149 rules and 175 rules. You can even further refine. Somebody will say, sir, I don't want to go for so much of rules. I wanted to have only 5 rules. Fine. That depends upon what? That depends upon this range, right? You say that you group it accordingly. You make these membership function groups also less, as well as increase the value of range depending upon your reservoir operation. Therefore, it is said that what is required to decide it, knowledge base and intuition is required. That what reason somewhere in the reason that fuzzy logic is knowledge based, right? This soft computing technique is knowledge based soft computing technique. This soft computing technique is knowledge based soft computing technique, wherein you have to apply the knowledge which you have, the expert who have the knowledge of reservoir operation, he can group it into less numbers, right? And based on that, the rules which are made over here, 192, 149, 175, that can be made even lesser than that, right? So how the rules are formed? So these rules are formed that I have shown over here. All 192 rules I have not framed over here, wrote it over here. But how this can be made? Some of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 17 rules you can see here, and even you can scroll down to 192 rules that you have to give is it as an input into the MATLAB software. So once you have framed the what you can say the rules, you can give various inputs and can get the output from the model. How you can do this? Actually, you all don't have MATLAB software in your laptop installed. If I would have asked you in the advance that install MATLAB software in your computer, then we would have solved a small problem using fuzzy logic, right? I would have shown, because I do ask my postgraduate students to do hands-on practice on fuzzy logic also when I teach them the subject of water resources system. And in that, as an application part of reservoir operation, we are using fuzzy logic. And in that fuzzy logic model, we take one small example and that we try to solve using what you can say MATLAB software. So this is that up to the rule, that is the model development steps. Now I am explaining how to develop this model in MATLAB. So first of all, you need to download the MATLAB software, whatever version you have on your desktop, and then use FIS rule. That is this specific thing you note down. Suppose if you have a MATLAB software installed in your laptop, you have to use FIS editor. Once you go and type FIS, then automatically it will show you fuzzy, and this window will appear. This window appears. This window is for the selection of number of inputs into the model, and selection of membership function. The appeared FIS editor is untitled, can be named according to the required model. The edit option on the FIS editor is clicked, which provide access to add or remove the variable inputs. So whatever may be inputs, in our case, we have 3 inputs and 1 output. So you can add and remove the variables using this FIS editor in the MATLAB software. This is the 4th step. Once the 4th step is done, this is the view of FIS of fuzzy model for monsoon season. So this has been ready. You have got 3 inputs, right? This is the scheme, which interference scheme, which you have opted from the number of interference scheme which are available with the MATLAB software. As I said that I have opted for Mamdani scheme, right? And this is my releases. Once this is done, you have to give the range for time period, range for storage, range for inflow. What is this? From where it will come? These tables. These tables which we have used, these all values you have to use again for what we can say. These all values you have to use again for giving it in the which software? MATLAB software, right? So this is for period, this is for storage, this is for inflow, and this is for releases. So 12 periods are there. You give input. See here it is given range 1 to 12, display range 1 to 12, right? And which function? So this shows the triangular membership function. So if you take triangular or trapezoidal, you can choose it from here also. That is input 1, time period number, right? Similarly, you have to do for input to storage. So first group is trapezoidal, and rest all low, medium, high, and very high. That is my triangular membership function, as we have selected over here. This one we have taken. This is storage. So for storage, this is, let me erase all the inks from the slide. Okay, so this is my storage, and will storage have 6. One is, first is very low. This value, this range is very low, trapezoidal membership function, low, medium, high, and very high. That is triangular membership function. So that has been considered here. You can see here for the storage. This is the first, second, third, fourth, and 5. Right? Then that storage is over. Then inflow. For inflow, how many groups you consider? First, second, third, fourth, 5, and 6 groups. Okay. And similarly for releases, I think you can see we have considered 7 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so these values, this see range 24 to 7,600, right? 24 to 7,600. You may ask me, sir, how to give each group? So very low. So you select from here trapezoidal, and then 24, 24, 100, 300, right? So that range which we have determined there, one by one you can change, and you can go on in giving input to the membership function for the releases, right? So output as a releases. Then this will show now the membership functions have been made based on the experts knowledge, database, and users intuition. That then these if then rules one by one, all you have to type. You have to select rather if, then see here it is and this is an and. If you wanted to use OR connection, you can use OR also. This what I am explaining the software, not I am explaining the what you can say model, right? The power cable there. So that I am explaining here. Okay. So suppose in our case, in our case, the releases are what we can say time period 1 and storage is low and inflow is very low. Then releases are very low. Okay. So we will use AND editor. Therefore, we have taken it is AND here. You want to take OR editor or editor, you can use OR also. You can give wait also. That is also been given over here, right? So this is the rule editor. This is called rule editor. So someone will say, sir, I frame 192 rules, so that all are need to be written in the MATLAB software. Yes, you have to frame all the rules in the MATLAB software. That means more complex the problem, more will be the parameters, more will be the number of if then rules. Yes, that is the limitation of fuzzy logic, that you need to frame those many rules. And if your number of parameters are more, sometimes it becomes uncontrollable, right? To use the fuzzy logic rules in MATLAB function or for solving a particular problem. Of course, MATLAB will do. If you will give 300 basic rules, it will give you the answer, right? If you have framed the rules properly. But only thing, for an individual, if number of parameters are more, input parameters are more and output parameters are more complex will be the, what you can say, if then rule framing. If then rule framing. Okay, then once the model has been ready, you have, suppose you wanted to know the output based on your 20 years of data, that in the month of June, right? If this is the storage and if this much is the inflow, what is the expected outflow from the dam? Directly you give here values input. See, this is this is given na 6547 to 4825, right? So you have to simply scroll. This is the line. You can scroll to the period, you can scroll to the storage, you can scroll to the inflow, and you will get the releases from the, what we can say that. So once you have made this model for different time periods, for different values of storage, and for different inflows, you can able to find it out releases from the dam based on the model developed, right? So this is the outcome which they have shown, and this outcome is again fudgified, defudgified, right? It is not in fudgification between 0 to 1, but it will be defudgified answer directly, as we have given the inference system, right? We have chosen Mamdani inference system, and that has been given in the MATLAB software also. So it will give you defudgified output from the model. Okay, so once the fuzzy logic based model has been framed, it can be exported or saved in MATLAB folder and also to workspace. It is very important to save the file in workspace. Following commands need to be given in MATLAB 7 to run the fuzzy logic based model. The command for reading the file so that the model can be executed is, so FIS, that is output evaluate, EVEL FIS, all these, they are the MATLAB configuration easily available with MATLAB help when you are using FIS editor, right? Now, classification of release into various multiple requirements and needs, right? Distribution of releases. So total expected release is the output from the first model, that is fuzzy logic based model for reservoir operation. This release has been used as a key point to distribute and classify various multiple objective releases. This we have discussed in the initially. Storage at time t+1 is storage at t, inflow and releases. If you have various actual observed releases for 20 years at Ukai from Ukai reservoir. So this is the actual data where you can see actual observed releases in Ukai Lebanon main canal, actual observed releases for hydropower, actual observed releases through gates, and these are the evaporation losses. These all values are based on yearly basis, year wise, and it is written as years, and the maximum, minimum and mean values are also given at the bottom of this table. So you can use these values, data analysis and results, right? In the present study, reservoir operation is done carried out in two stages, that what I have already explained. Fuzzy logic based operation of reservoir that we have done, and based on that, what we can say, the models have been run and developed. So once you have yearly data, data. Similarly, you will have yearly, monthly data also. So you can have for each month, then as we have run for 10 daily model. So January to February, you can see that 1, 2 and 3 values, and the red values, they are fuzzy storages, while the blue values, that is actual storages, right? So your fuzzy logic model and the actual observation, you can see for the year 92, they are almost overlapping with each other. So developed model is good. Okay. So, and what is the rule level? Up to what level the water can be stored? So you can see here the rule level is also followed, except in 1992 they have filled more water in between September and month of October. Otherwise, you can see this is the highest value. The black line you can see that is the highest storage possible in the reservoir. So that line has been shown drawn over here, and you can see that your fuzzy logic storage as well as actual storage don't never exceed the black line, but even your fuzzy logic storage which we have developed using 192 rules, that shows that it also not exceeded the what you can say the maximum value of storage into the dam. Again, this is for the elevation comparison. This was storage comparison. Again, the elevation which you have worked out from the model and actual elevation. So in the month of June, the reservoir may be at minimum water level. So you can see here the value is 90, right? While in case of month of October, the storage is highest. So therefore, the reservoir may be at a full level, and you can see that approximately 105.15, that is the FRL level. The reservoir is full filled up to the FRL level, and both the actual storage and fuzzy storage are well agreed with each other, well coinciding with each other, right? Then the next is storage versus observed, that is observed versus fuzzy actual, that is model, that is simulated versus observed values. For 1993, this is the storage comparison, elevation comparison. For 94, again storage comparison and elevation comparison. And similarly, this has been done for all 20 years. 94, 95, you will see that the difference is quite high here. The difference is more. Hence, you need to fine tune your model for these specific months, right? If you wanted to use this for the purpose of operation of the reservoir. This is 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 4, 5, and 6. So in 6, see this is this particular dot. You can see that this is the August 8 event which I have shown you, and it almost they have filled the water level beyond the FRL, right? That is full reservoir level. Taken risk because if they release more water, already there was 1.5 story water in the city of Surat on 7-8 August 2006, and if they have gone more releases than what they have released, probably the depth of water may have gone to 2-storied building in the city of Surat. But as you can see here, what was the condition of the reservoir? So this also shows that you need to release the water. Otherwise, what will happen? The Ukai reservoir is composite dam, and composite dam means it is partially of gravity and partially it is of earthen material. So if you have not released the water the extent in which it has been released by Ukai authority in 2006, and as I have shown that the water level is slightly higher than that of the FRL, right? That they have taken calculated risk that they have stored water in between the freeboard and the maximum water level, right? That is FRL, calculated risk in this case, right? Why they have taken? Because they don't wanted to do, don't wanted to go for releases more than that of what they have already released. If somebody will say here, sir, they would have stored more water, right, and not release it above the maximum FRL level, then what would have happened? Can anybody write in chat? If I go on storing water beyond the full reservoir level, if without maintaining the releases, if I go on storing water above full reservoir level, more than full reservoir level, what would have happened? Greater than FRL? Yes. What will happen? Please type in chat. Dam safety will be in danger. Yes. Any other answer? How? Can anybody write how the dam safety will be in danger? As I said, Ukai Dam is composite dam. Composite dam means what? Partially gravity and partially earthen material. So what would have happened because of it? Hello? Dam safety will be in danger. So what would have happened? Whether the spillway get washed away or whether the water if over toppled over the earthen embankment, the earthen embankment have washed away. What would have happened? Gravity dam have failed or earthen embankment have failed? I need answer from all the participants. If I store water in the reservoir above full reservoir level and go on storing, go on increasing the level, what would have happened? Spillway part would have washed away or embankment part would have washed away. Spillway is made up of concrete and embankment part is made up of earthen material. Which part would have washed away? That I am asking. 3008. Yes, embankment, correct. That is Patel Mohit, I think. Yeah, Banu. Yes, I need few more answers. Yes, embankment part, correct. And where such event happened in state of Gujarat. Gujarat has experienced this event in past. Can anybody tell for which dam or for which river this has been happened? Yes, sir, you are right. It is Machu. Right, in Machu Dam, 1979, if I'm not wrong, failed, right? And because of which, as Surat is on downstream of Ukai Dam, Morbi city is on the downstream of Machu Dam, right? And the gravity part of the dam, it was also composite dam, gravity and embankment. The gravity part remained as it is while the embankment part get washed away, right? And that has happened in 1979. If somebody is interested in reading how it has happened, there is a book named No One Has Tongue to Speak. No One Has Tongue to Speak by Utpal Sandesara and Tom Wooten. Utpal Sandesara and Tom Wooten. It is around 395 rupees book, but it is worth reading for all civil engineers. It is worth reading for all civil engineering engineers that how when I explain this in this STTP, when you attend such type of a courses, you feel that, oh, this is a part of our academic activity, or this is a part of our what we can say curriculum, and that's why we have to attend these courses. But no, this is equally of practical significance that if you are not managing it, this is a danger point, this one, right? If you would have gone beyond, you can imagine what would have happened if the Ukai Dam has been washed up. If because Ukai Dam is much larger than that of the Machu Dam, right? And as there will be great damages in the city of Surat if it would have washed away. So this is year wise comparison is shown between actual and observed over all 20 years, right? So thus we are using the comparison of observed storage and fuzzy storage that is shown now here in a graphical form. Both one is year versus storage and another one is years versus elevation. This is a statistical analysis part. What is the difference between these two observed values and what we can say the simulated values that has been computed using discrepancy ratios, confidence level, mean values, right, of observed and mean values of predicted or simulated for all the years. These are the graphs showing actual versus fuzzy storage. And this 45-degree line, this black line is 45-degree lines. So this in 92 it is over predicting, and this dotted green line and blue line, that is the band. What is the error? So 12.5%, that is plus minus within the fuzzy logic or simulated values are in the range of plus minus 12.5%. So sometimes the faculty, students, or even consultant draw these graphs and they don't check the scale. Whenever you draw observed versus simulated graph, it should be square graph, and it should have the same. When I'm saying square graph, that means the x scale and y scale there should be same. This is also square graph only. As I have copy pasted it, it is little bit direct and it look rectangle. Otherwise, it should be it is a square graph, right? So you can see year wise what is the error in percentage. The percentage lines are also drawn, right? That is what is the percentage of error between observed and simulated, and for all the years that also has been worked out, that in which year this fuzzy logic model gives more error and in which year the fuzzy logic model gives less error. So here I will stop